This summer, we've been taking you on a tour of the Thousand Islands. Guest narrator Joseph Brosk introduces you to the most notable islands in the St. Lawrence River.
The story of the Thousand Islands begins tens of thousands of years ago at the hand of Mother Nature. Receding glaciers of the last ice age carved the Great Lakes out of the vast North American river basin. Melting glaciers filled these 5 new cisterns with fresh water, searching for a path to the sea. The Laurentian River had served the ancient watershed, but now, covered with ice, it had to be rerouted from the spout of Lake Ontario to meet its old path near what is now the Quebec-New York border. The new river, the St. Lawrence, cascaded to the Atlantic Ocean, submerging hundreds of granite knolls and their larger limestone and sandstone partners. In all, more than 1,800 islands were formed. The exact number has fluctuated over the centuries due to river levels. The vegetation on each ranges from mosses to maples. To be considered an island, these rocky outcroppings must be above water year-round and support at least one tree. For some of its wealthy citizens, the more than 1,000 islands here still weren't enough. Cleveland, Ohio businessman H.P. Rose bought 4 small rock shoals, connected them with a retaining wall, and brought fill from the mainland. Today, the island is known as Artificial Isle. In the vicinity of Alexandria Bay are Cherry and Wawinet Islands. Cherry Island is home to 3 mansions of note. First is this home, known as Casablanca, completed by Cuban tobacco and sugar millionaire Luis Marx in 1895. Second is Bellora, now known as Ingleside, constructed in 1900 for Nathan Strauss, who was co-owner of Macy's and Abraham & Straus department store in New York City. Its twin cottage, Olympia, owned by his partner Abraham, was later demolished. A third, though less well-known mansion, is Windley House, owned by Win Gurney of Win Gurney Pontiac in Syracuse. Thomas Wheeler, Commodore of the Thousand Islands Yacht Club and officer of Standard Oil Company, built a summer mansion on Wawinet Island. The home was destroyed by fire in the 1960s. Today, Wawinet Island is home to 2 magnificent summer cottages. In 1921, Mary Louise, daughter of Thomas Wheeler and her husband, New York Sun and Telegram owner William DeWart, purchased nearby Keewaydin as a summer place for their growing family. James Wesley Jackson, a stockbroker and financial advisor, had built a large mansion on the property in 1893. The state of New York eventually acquired the property in 1961 and turned it into a state park. Many of the structures, including the mansion, were demolished. Bluff Island was a favorite summer encampment of ancient Indian families and has yielded numerous artifacts of those times over the years. Today, it is unique with its boutique, a marina-style store accessible only by water. Between Pullman and Friendly Islands is Nobby Island, first owned by the Pullman family. New York businessman E.A. Health later built this home that was a hub for Alexandria Bay's social life and further publicized the pleasures of the region to the New York area's wealthy elite. To the north is a Canadian island known as Zavicon. This bridge, built between it and the unnamed island next to it, is still known as the smallest international bridge in the world. The story was started by the island's early owners, and any good map reveals that both are in Canadian waters. The tradition has continued, however, and the flags of both nations are often displayed here. Island Royal is home to this mansion, once owned by Andrew McNally of the Rand McNally Publishing Company. Clara Barton, founder of the American Red Cross, spent her summers here. Just 2 miles downriver from Hart Island is Deer Island. First purchased in 1856 by Samuel Miller, it was one of the first to be sold as a summer retreat. His mansion was of native granite foundations with a wooden superstructure. It was deeded to Yale University Skull and Bone Society by his son George Miller. The Outlook, as it was known, burned in 1949. West Point on Wellesley Island's southeast shore is home to this stately granite edifice. This was the summer residence of William Browning, who had it built in 1890. Browning made his fortune from making uniform for Civil War soldiers. He called it the Towers, and 2 years later dubbed it Hopewell Hall. Browning later sold Hopewell Hall to George Bolt.